I'm joined now by Mickey Carroll of the Quinnipiac University poll. Mickey, thanks for joining me. Tell us a little bit about the poll today with Governor Andrew Cuomo and just some of the popularity that he's experiencing right now among voters.
Well, I told somebody, I said, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Super Andrew. 64 to 16 job approval for the governor in the Quinnipiac poll. Now look, normally at budget time, governors, you know, there's trouble at budget, there's contention, there's argument, and governor's popularity goes down. Andrew Cuomo's went up 64 to 16. Those are great numbers. Quinnipiac does 6 states, as you know. The only one who's even in the running is Christie in Jersey, and he's at 52 something. So that Cuomo outpolls every other governor that Quinnipiac looks. Now, part of it's the calendar. Most governors start their fiscal year on July 1st. Andrew Cuomo in New York start theirs on April 1st, so they've got something out of the way while the others are still pending. But when Quinnipiac measures a 64 to 16 job approval, that's pretty good. And we asked, how did he do it? Did he do it with charm? Did he do it with intimidation, with muscle? Or did he do it on the merits? And 47%, for almost half, said on the merits, which means Governor Cuomo has convinced the state, or a large portion of the state, a large percentage of the state, that this was the right thing, the sensible thing to do. So the Quinnipiac poll for Andrew Cuomo is plus, plus, plus. It's a great one.
And so is this mainly because, you know, Cuomo during budget season traveled around the state trying to make his pitch for these budget cuts, some of which, you know, are historically very taboo, cutting into Medicaid, cutting into education. Was he just kind of riding the zeitgeist in terms of what people were concerned about this time around, or was it that tour that kind of helped him out in explaining his position?
Well, it certainly helped. It never hurts at all to talk to people, to get around, to let people know what you're up to. But once again, people seem to think, they tell Quinnipiac anyway, that it was on the merits. In other words, that this budget was the way it should be done. And that point seems to have appealed to people. I mean, there's a lot of things. Yes, the tour. Yes, the idea that he took the two big contentious items, Medicaid and education, and he got them both out of the argument. He got the Medicaid people who'd normally be beating up on him to join in. And as a practical matter, to say what they could live with that wouldn't hurt them. So it was sensible, practical, and also very, very effective.
Now, as you know, the governor does not have as much power in the budget process, in the legislative process, as he does in the budget process. Can he repeat the same strategy, do you think, and can he come out smelling like roses like he did in the poll this time around?
Well, let's see. In other words, he's a I said 64 to 16 job approval. That is very, very impressive. And it doesn't only impress you and me, it impresses the legislature. They see a governor who's got high marks. And he said that if people are with him, if people help him, he'll go in and help them. So the idea that a popular, successful, high-scoring governor might come in and put his arm around you, yeah, that has to be a plus in the legislature. Look, Albany's a very complicated place. Everything's a deal. And you got personalities, you know, the various players in the thing. So we'll have to see. But Quinnipiac will keep polling on the various issues. And at this stage of the game, look, 64 to 16. That, well, it's, you know, is that astronomical, stratospheric? I don't know, whatever it is. You make your adjective, but it's very, very high.
All righty, Mickey Carroll from the Quinnipiac University poll. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me on.